25 years. So I think we should really say congratulations to Pacific Community Ventures, because it's an amazing accomplishment. What I was reflecting on after when I was still chairman of Macromedia, but I had started at Accel Partners in venture capital, was this kind of confluence of capital and advising that really helps create the Silicon Valley ecosystem and the startup ecosystem. The question was, could we do the same thing to help entrepreneurs in lower income communities, and particularly not just with capital, but where entrepreneurs did not have access to the same network of people, right? Because really it's all about the people.
In August 2011, Javi's Cooking became official when I rented my first commercial kitchen to start producing empanadas. My name is Javier Sandes, originally from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I was a soccer player in my country, and I was lucky to get a scholarship to play soccer in the United States. I moved here in 2001 with, didn't speak English, I didn't have anyone, no friends. I just grabbed my backpack with full of dreams and $700 in my pocket, and let's go. And it was just a beautiful journey. I always tell myself if I had to do it again, I'll do it.
We were doing impact investing before anyone coined the term impact investing. That really made a difference in terms of giving us leadership nationally and then internationally around policy and what policy could look like in this area. And I would say the second thing that's really evolved still around the core mission has been the rededication of the group to inclusion and equity, particularly with all the things that have gone on in the last 5 years. But as I said in the beginning, it's all about people. And if you've been in a startup, you know that it really is all about people. You know. I met Bubel about 2 years ago, maybe 3, I don't know. On Zoom initially. We had some calls and then a Zoom, but I didn't meet her in person until about 2 years ago. I'd been looking forward to meeting her because she was so dynamic and interesting, and I thought, wow, we really got somebody here. And you know, when you found an organization, you really want it to live and you want it to do well, and even if you're not connected other than, you know, as a donor or something, you know, it's always part of your DNA. And I met Bubel, and I was like so impressed with her intelligence and her drive and how mission driven she was, and what a nice person she was also. And I thought, God, finally we've got the next generation of leadership here who really is going to take it to the next level.
And what really drew me to PCV is the fact that we not only started as an equity investor in the story that Bud laid out, but we also intentionally, our leadership about 10 years ago, pivoted us out of equity into becoming a small business lender, with the realization that at the time, post-Great Recession, a lot of our businesses were really just looking at working capital to be able to survive and grow back up again. And they weren't necessarily equity ready, they weren't necessarily looking for more dilutive ownership. They were really looking at, how do I just recover? Something that a lot of our businesses have been doing again through COVID. And who can partner with me in a patient way that I can afford to partner with? Alex and Alicia are here from Fortune Cookie Factory in Oakland. The Oakland Fortune Cookie Factory is the last multi-generational family-owned handmade fortune cookie factory left on the West Coast. I met them at my very first event when I started at PCV.
My name is Cecil Plummer, President and CEO of the Western Regional Minority Supplier Development Council, so a fellow nonprofit CEO, and we have a lot of overlap between what we do. We help BIPOC entrepreneurs, folks from underserved communities, grow and scale their businesses to get into the supply chains of Fortune 1000 companies and also large public entities. Our goal is to create jobs and intergenerational wealth in a more sustainable way.
Really set with me, how do I make sure that this kind of capital is accessible to entrepreneurs who don't have friends and family capital? How do we get them funded for them to be able to be part of this American dream that my family is working their butts off for? What we've really redone is how do we now move forward with the model that we have at PCV to make sure that we are still working to make the American dream not just alive, but accessible to underestimated people and places.
Thank you to PCV. This wouldn't be possible for us. It's just been an amazing experience working with them, working with everyone that is supporting small business. I would say, please don't stop supporting the small businesses because, I wouldn't be here. This is a true story, and thank you.
What does it look like to really embody the visions we have put upon ourselves with our new strategy at PCV? We are really encouraging folks to not just consider supporting PCV, investing capital. We are raising our first big anniversary event here, and our big event that we invite you to be part of in November in Oakland that Cecil on our board is going to talk a little bit more about, and to volunteer. So whether it is your time or through your companies, if you have friends who are interested in sort of being part of this pro bono advising program, there's lots of different ways to engage. But really encourage you to think about sort of who else in your network, are there small business owners that you might refer to us to make sure that they have capital access, et cetera, across California.
Rebecca and I wanted to also in context of the 25th anniversary, say that we're going to make a $25,000 donation for your leadership and how fast the organization is really thriving and growing now. So thank you for everything you do. Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Income disparities are just getting worse, and household incomes have been stagnant for a long time. We can't do business as usual and change the world the way it needs to be changed. And that's why we need innovative leaders like Boble and innovative organizations like PCV who are taking financial services, something that's been around for a long time, and looking at it differently and making sure that they focus on the impact. That's why I'm so proud to be associated with this organization.